Things to do in Santa Fe, the museums. In and around downtown Santa Fe, there are 7 wonderful museums. You could probably spend a full day at each of these museums, or if you cluster your tours by location, you should be able to cover a couple in a day. In the downtown area, there are 3 museums located near the Central Plaza: the New Mexico Museum of Art, the New Mexico History Museum, and the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum. The New Mexico Museum of Art, located at 107 West Palace Avenue, was built in 1917 in the Pueblo Revival style so prominent in Santa Fe. It is based on the historic churches of the Native American pueblos found throughout the Rio Grande Valley. The museum is home to over 20,000 paintings, photos, and pieces of sculpture. The museum is also the location of the St. Francis Auditorium, a 450-seat venue for lectures and concerts by the Santa Fe Chamber Music Ensemble and the Santa Fe Symphony. The New Mexico History Museum, located at 113 Lincoln Avenue, immediately off the plaza, was opened in 2009 as a $49 million expansion of the historic Palace of the Governors, originally built in the 1600s. Displayed on 3 floors, it has over 20,000 artifacts of the history of New Mexico from the ancient Native American cultures through to the present day, and highlighting the unique mixed culture of Native American peoples, Spanish peoples, and Anglos. Travel through time via exhibits from the earliest days of the state through the Wild West and on to modern times. It is a rich and rewarding experience. Finally, in the downtown area, a couple of blocks from the plaza, at 217 Johnson Street, is the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum. Opened in July of 1997, 11 years after the passing of the world-renowned artist, it displays and preserves the artistic legacy of Georgia O'Keeffe and her work. It is the largest repository of the artist's work in the country, growing from an initial collection of 140 works to the present level of 1,200 works. Connected to the museum is a satellite location in Abiquiu, New Mexico, about an hour and a half north of Santa Fe. At this location was her home and studio. Nearby is also Ghost Ranch, which is another location where she lived and did her work. About a mile from the downtown plaza is Museum Hill, and this is the location of an additional 4 museums. 2 of them share a location at opposite ends of a beautiful plaza set high above the city with views in all directions. At one end is the International Folk Art Museum. This museum was opened in 1953 and is the world's largest collection of international folk art. There are over 135,000 artifacts displayed in 4 distinct wings. It includes different art forms such as toys, ceramics, textiles, dolls, and beadwork. It is the sponsor and the location of the International Folk Art Market, held each July in the early part of the month. At the opposite end of the Museum Hill Plaza is the Museum of Indian Arts and Culture. This museum was founded in 1927 and was located to its current location in 1983. The museum is dedicated to an accurate and culturally sensitive presentation of the Southwestern Native culture. It works closely with Native American communities in the area. There are displays of textiles, pottery, baskets, and jewelry, and has exhibits that chronicle the everyday life of the indigenous population of the area through time. Nearby on Museum Hill, but off the main plaza, is the Museum of Spanish Colonial Art. Initiated in 1928 and located in an intimate house-like setting, there are displays of over 300 Spanish colonial art pieces, including textiles, tin work, ironwork, silverwork, straw applique, and furniture. The displays depict the artistic history of the Hispanic culture of the area and its ongoing evolution in New Mexico. Finally, a short distance in the opposite direction and close to the International Folk Art Museum is the Wheelwright Museum of the American Indian. Founded in 1937 by Mary Carter Wheelwright, a Boston transplant, and Hatai Kla, a Navajo singer and medicine man, it is the repository of Navajo sound recordings, manuscripts, paintings, and sand painting tapestries. It provides a sense of the beauty, dignity, and profound logic of the Navajo religion. In 1977, there was a shift to incorporate not just Navajo culture, but other collections of Native American art from other areas of the country. So as you can see, the museums of Santa Fe offer insight into the history and the beauty of our land of enchantment. Each of the museums has a gift shop offering art pieces, books, and collectibles, and most of them, either in-house or nearby, offer dining facilities as you make a day of your tours. That about wraps it up for this week's video. Thanks so much for watching. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to my channel, watch other Santa Fe videos, and click on the link in my YouTube channel to get a copy of my Santa Fe relocation guide. Thanks again for watching. See you next week.